This is Gemara Basra Daf Kof Lamed Beis, and we're holding on Kof Lamed Aleph Lamed Beis. We got to 4 lines from the bottom. We're going to start a little higher up at the 2 dots, as that's really the beginning of the sugya. Today's learning should be an incredible schos rafua shleima for Tinok ben Miriam Ahuva b'siyata dishmaya. We should continue seeing the koyach ha'tayra bring the ultimate Yeshuais b'siyata dishmaya. Omar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, again beginning from the 2 dots on Kof Lamed Aleph Amid Beis. Teaches Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel Kosev Kol Nechasav LeIshtay. Someone writes in a shtar, in a will, that he's giving all his nechasim to his wife. Loi asa ela apetrapa. He made his wife an administrator, meaning he's not actually giving it to his wife. She does not acquire his entire estate, but rather by writing it to her, it means that she is now in control of the estate. Says the Gemara, that's when it comes to one's wife. Pshita, the following is obvious. Someone wrote over the whole estate to his older son. He only made him an apotropos. But if someone did it to his youngest son, what is the halacha? Says the Gemara, Itmar. Let's bring a raya. Rav Chanilai bar Idi Amar Shmuel afilu b'nai hakotan mutar ba'arisa. Even a small baby in the cradle, says Rav Idi Amar Shmuel, then he has the din of an apotropos. Says, meaning that he doesn't actually acquire the fields, but rather he is the administrator, he is in charge of making the decisions about the estate. The Shita continues the Gemara, b'nai va'acher, acher b'matano b'nai apotropos. If someone writes over the estate to a son and to someone else, the son is an apotropos. The son takes control, and the acher gets it as a matana. Says the Gemara, Ishte arusa v'ishte grusha b'matana. If someone's giving it over to his wife who's an arusa, or his wife who is divorced, then why is he giving it to her? Not that she's actually in charge, but rather he's giving it to her as a matana. The reason is the husband's not that close with his wife who's an arusa. Certainly his wife is a grusha. Therefore, this means he wants to give her something, but not that she has full control over the estate. So Ibayilahu, that was the running start. Now says the Gemara, Bas itzel abanim, v'isha itzel ha'achim, v'isha itzel b'nei ha'bal ma'u. What is the story? Says the Gemara, if someone wrote over to a daughter and there are sons, someone writes it over to his wife and there are brothers, someone goes over to his wife and there are b'nei ha'bal, the sons of the husbands. He has sons from another marriage. Ma'u, what is the halacha? Is he giving it to that person as a matana, or so that person is the apotropos? Amar Ravina Mishei de Rava bekulu loi kana levar me'ishta arusai ve'ishta grusha. Says Ravina, in all these cases, the one that he's writing it to does not have a kinyan. Loi kana levar, except for a case me'ishta arusa, when he's writing to his arusa or to ishta grusha, like we saw a moment ago. Why? He doesn't want to make them into the apotropos, and rather it just means he's actually giving them a matana. Rav Avira Mishmei Rav Amar Bekulu Kani, the exact opposite. They all have a kinyan levar me'isha itzel acham, isha itzel b'nei abal, that in those cases they do not have a kinyan, and rather they will just become an apotropos. And we turn over to Kof Lamed Beis Amid Aleph, and the Gemara continues with a shayla. Ba'i Rava, Bibari Heyech, what is the story if a Bari, as the Rashbam spells out, Kasav Kol Nechasav Le'ishtai, Chani Dairi Shmuel, in all of the aforementioned cases, if a husband writes his entire estate to his wife, does she acquire it or not? Does she become a apotropos? So explains the Gemara, B'shchem Arau D'nichle D'lishtem Oin Mili. When he's on his deathbed, he wants that he'll listen to his word so that he'll listen to his wife. Avol bibari ha kai. But if it comes to giving to his wife when he's healthy, there's no reason. Why? Because he's around. and therefore he can make sure that they'll listen to her. And therefore, must be the reason why he's giving it to her is to give it to her as a gift. Then no, even when he's healthy, maybe he wants them to listen to her mehashta from right now. That's why he gives it to her. So maybe he is indeed making her an apotropis. Tashema, says the Gemara in the fourth line. Let's bring a raya. If someone writes the payros, the produce of the property of his wife, go b'ksubasa min karka, she still could get the ksuba from the karka. If he gave her half, a third, a quarter of the property, go b'ksubasa min ashar, she could collect the ksuba from the rest. Kosav called nechasav leishtoi v'yatzav l'shtar chayv. Let's say he wrote all of the estate to his wife, and then there's a shtar chayv that the husband owes. Rav Lezer Amar Tikra Matanasa v'tamoid al Ksubasa. Says Rav Elazar, you know what you do? He wrote everything to his wife, and now there's a shtar that comes out that the husband owes someone money. Says Rav Elazar, Tikra Matanasa, she loses the right to get it as a gift, but V'tamad al Ksuba, but she will be able to collect it as a Ksuba. So Ksuba is also a lien that the husband was Mechayiv to her. No, she loses her ksuba and it goes to the matana. Vinim says that what comes out of this, that she mamish gets messed up from both ends. She loses the fact it was written to her and she doesn't get it. She loses from the fact that she cannot collect ksuba from it. She's messed up on both accounts. V'amar Rav Yehuda, two lines on the Y lines, at nachtaim. V'amar Rav Yehuda nachtaim. Rav Yehuda Nachtim says, there was a story of Ira Davar Bebeis Achaisi Kalo. There was a story that happened like this with my sister's daughter, who's my daughter-in-law. The story came from the Chachamim V'amru. They said, Tikra Ksubasa V'tamid Al Matanasa. Chazal Paskin that she loses the Ksuba, but she keeps it. It's considered a gift. And him says, Karachas Mikan Mikan. She gets messed up from both sides. Time it does live shtar chayv. So says the Gemara. Let's bring a raya from here. That sounds like Dafko because over here there was a shtar chayv. Halayatzla shtar chayv kanya. If there's no shtar chayv, it sounds like she would indeed have a kinyan. Says the Gemara. B'mayna, what is the case? Elim b'shchimara. If you can tell me that the person lying there tefled v'amr lo asela b'tropis. What do you mean? If the husband was a shchimara, then it should have made her into nabetravis. So why would we say that she actually has a kinyan alave bari? Must be a bari. Must be that the husband was a healthy person. What do we see? That if the husband gives the entire estate to his wife at a time that he is bari, she actually has a kinyan and she is not merely an apitrapis. Says the Gemara, no raya. La'olam, it is talking about b'shchimra v'ravira mukla b'kulu, and it's not a kasha on Shmuel. Why? Because Ravira could explain that all the cases are discussing the exceptions that which Shmuel said. Ravina mukla b'ishta arusa b'ishta grusha. Ravina says no. We could also interpret it talking about. That's going to be the exclusion because it's talking about ishta arusa v'ishta grusha, which those were the one case that everyone agreed that it goes to them as a matana. Omar Rav Yosef Minumi Amar Rav Nachman on the fifth wide line. Halacha tikuk subasa v'taman al matanasa v'nimsig achs mikan mikan. Lemeimra, I asked the Gemara, Delazlo Rav Nachman Basra Umdina Zmina Rav Nachman doesn't go with, and Umdina, that's the reason why he says Kareches Mikan Umi Kan. Says the Gemara. V'atanya, we learned in a brayso. V'atanya, harei shahalach. V'noilem dinas hayam. The son goes. Le medinas hayam v'shama shemeiz b'noi. And v'shama shemeiz b'noi. And he hears that his son dies. V'amad because of kol nechasav lachir miretzol nechasav v'achich v'o b'noi. Matanasai matana. The son pops up. What's the halacha? That which he gave to the son, and indeed a good matana. Shimon Menasya, Imer says Shimon Menasya, ein matanasa metana. If you would have known that someone was alive, he would never have written it away. On this comment, Rav Nachman halacha Rav Shimon ben Asya. We paskin like Rav Shimon ben Asya. So what do we see? We see that which the person wants, his mindset does come into account. Explains the Gemara, no kasha shiny awesome the nichalei the tipik Allah kala the kasinoni Allah lahanu nechasim. In that case, he's happy that there should be a call about her, that her husband gave her everything, and therefore that's the reason why she gives away the shibud, because she benefits from the fact that everyone knows that the husband gave it to her. Tanan also, we continue bringing a Mishnah, a little bit of a related discussion. Someone writes his properties to his son, and he writes his wife a little bit of karka. Of the ksubasam, she loses her ksuba from that which is given to the sons. Of the ksubasa, says the Gemara, I don't understand. Because a little bit of land was written to her, it could be one little bit, she loses her ksuba. So Amarav and Zakalam Yada, what the Mishnah means is where the husband transferred it to the kids through the wife. That she divided it and she was quiet. Talking where the husband said, take this karka as your ksuba. Umekule ksuba shanukan. This is one of the kulas of ksuba. We had this back at the end of ksubas, and that's the reason why she would not have a ksuba in such a scenario. Says the Gemara Tanan, we have a kasha from the following Mishnah. Rav Yosi Aimer teaches Rav Yosi. Im kiblai alei aval bishla kasav la of the ksubasa. If they are makabel upon themselves, even if the husband didn't get anything to her, she loses her ksuba. Mechlal tanikama savar. That's Rav Yosi. Sounds tanikama hold. Ksiva v'kibla. Then no, she still does get her ksuba. V'chitema says Gemara Kula Rav Yosi. Maybe the whole mission is going with Rav Yosi. V'tanya Rav Yehuda imasay sheis hasham v'kabla alei. It's only when she is there and she accepts it. Avalei hasham v'lo kibla alei. Kabla alei v'lei hasham. If he's there and she doesn't accept it, she accepts it. She's not there. Loi of the ksubasa. Tuafta, tuafta. So says the Gemara Lamaisa, this brisa is a kasha on all of them, and therefore the Gemara says Tiyofta. Amar le Rav Rav Nachman, Harav Shmuel Rav Yisrachnina Mar Mai Svir Le. So Rav says to Rav Nachman Lamaisa, we have all the opinions. What do you hold? So Amar Le Rav Nachman responds, Shani Yomer Kimin Sha'asa Shaitaf Shutaf bin Abanim of the Ksubasa. Once the children are considered a shutis, once the person inheriting is considered a partner with those kids of the Ksubasa. And it Manami, we learn similarly. Amar Rav Yisrael ben Yumi Rav Nachman Kimin Sha'asa Shutvif bin Abanim of the Ksubasa. Once a shutvis is created, the ksuba is lost. We'll stop over here. We'll pull it up from Bay Rav Bar Yehiach the next year of Siyata Dishmaya.